Okay, we were waiting for the recording to begin. So now everything is okay. I'm Reshma Bharadwaj, HOD Department of Social Work. I'm a bit of a stopgap arrangement today because Dr. Shailaja, who's the guide of this Funni Moles, she ditched the university psychology department and went over to the Kerala University Psychology Department. So Dr. Biju, who's the HOD of the Sociology Department, is the officiating HOD of Department of Psychology. But there is also another PhD defense in the Sociology Department today as well. So of course it's a very glorious day for university today. It's a very glorious day outside, sunny weather. But for the university, like what else can the university be proud of but having the scholars produce a research work after years of toiling and scrutiny by very illustrious scholars outside. And Nimol has been doing her research on the topic psychological profile of the adolescents with sensory motor disabilities under Dr. Shailaja. So I welcome all the scholars gathered here in the webinar today to promote a free and fearless academic activity of taking a look at each other's work and scrutinizing it, and also providing a very conducive atmosphere for Unimol to present her uh, defenses and present her arguments and take questions and defend it. So first of all, I welcome all of you, and a very special welcome to Professor Raju, who will be the chairman of today's open defense, and he's also the chairman of the panel of adjudicators. So he will be chairing today's session as well as presenting the questions on behalf of other adjudicators who have scrutinized the PhD thesis submitted by Unimol. So I welcome you, Professor Raju. Professor Raju was a former head of the Department of Psychology, and as I have heard, a very renowned scholar in this area. He has published a lot of books on psychology, and also like has been the external examiner for all the South Indian universities, wherever there is a department of psychology. So he's a very apt person for is a very apt adjudicator as well as a very apt chairperson. I also welcome Dr. Shailaja, though she has gone over to the Kerala University. She is the one who guided the star of today's performance. And so welcome, ma'am, to this PhD defense moment. And welcome all other my colleagues, teachers, students, and scholars from different places who have come to witness today's open defense. And last, I also welcome Unnimol to today's presentation, and very best for today's presentation and for defending your thesis today. So once again, I'm welcoming all of you to the event, and I'm handing over the mic to Professor Raju to take up his charge as the chairperson of the today's event. Professor Raju, can you hear me? Mic on level. പ്രൊഫസറിന്റെ മൈക്ക് പിന്നെ ഓഫാണ്.
Okay, I think the supervising teacher will introduce the candidate because the candidate is well known to the teacher. That means the supervising teacher. So I request the supervising teacher, Professor Dr. Shailaja, to introduce the candidate to the public, to the audience. Just a few words.
Okay, to be in charge, most respected chairperson, Dr. Raju sir, the candidate, Srimati Unnimol, okay, esteemed participants. A warm good afternoon to one and all. I am extremely happy to be here to attend the open defense. And this is the 15th open defense under my supervision. And just he is not only my beloved teacher, but my mentor also. He is narration about he's not only my beloved teacher, but my mentor also. HOD has given a clear narration about him, and now my duty is to introduce the candidate. But before that, I would like to say one word about my beloved teacher, that as to narrate him in one word, as he is a man who is enriched with humanity. I also welcome you, sir, in this function. And now about the candidate, Unnimol KK. She has completed her studies in Shankaracharya University, UG, PG, MPhil, and PhD. And she was a faculty on contract in the Department of Psychology around 4 years. So she is my student as well as my colleague. And she has published 2 research articles in UGC approved journal, and presented 7 research papers on national and international seminars. And now she is working as counselor at Snehida Gender Help Desk of Kudumbasri Mission under a local self-government at Kottayam. And she also participating on various workshops and online classes, and now practicing as consultant psychologist in a de-addiction center at Perimbavur. And in my view, Srimati Unnimol KK is a person who possesses reverence towards her teachers. That will definitely lead her to achieve a lot of success in all spheres of her life. All the best, Unnimol. And I would like to extend the mic to Chairman. Sir.
Okay, very good afternoon to one and all. Respected HOD of social work, then my student and supervising teacher, Mrs. Shailaja, then the participant or the VIP of the present day, that is Ms. Unnimol KK, and had assembled to participate in this open defense. Now, as the HOD has said, it is one of the greatest day to the SS University, because I think in addition to this one, another PhD open defense is on in the Department of Sociology. That is why he got a chance to chair this welcome and chair this session. And we had heard about Unnimol KK, and as I asked the former HOD and who had migrated to Kerala University, has said she was a hard-working student, and I think she had more service than any of the faculty members there, because from UG onwards she had been studying there, and now she had shifted Kottayam as a counselor in Kudumbasri Mission. Anyway, thank you, Unnimol. Now we come to the thesis. The thesis is entitled a psychological profile of adolescents with a sensory motor disabilities. This is, I think, topic scenario, because there are so many people having some disability, especially sensory motor disability. Here, we had taken two of those disabilities, that is hearing disability and orthopedically disabled participants, as people were taken a sample. And details of the thesis will be given by Unnimal herself, because she had done the work and she is more accustomed with, versed with the details of the study, and we can hear it from her own mouth. And I invite Ms. Unnimal Keke to present the thesis within 30 minutes at the most, in a brief manner. Please, Unnimal, please present the thesis.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Most respected Raju, sir. My supervising teacher, Dr. Shailaja ma'am, Dr. Reshma ma'am, and dear audience, good afternoon to all. Okay, all of you, just imagine imagine an adolescent with any type of disability. My topic is on a psychological profile of adolescent with a sensory motor disability. The term disability is an umbrella term that includes activity limitations, impairments, and participation restrictions. According to World Health Organization, disability as a human condition. Every person, some way or the other, has to pass through the tribulations of some sort of disability, and those survive into old age live their lives with extreme difficulties. According to World Health Organization, a disabled person is anyone who has a problem in body, function or structure, and activity limitation, has a difficulty in executing a task or action with a participation restrictions. According to National Disability Service Limited, categorized disability as intellectual disability, physical or motor disability, and psychiatric disability. Disabled persons often have to face extreme stigmatization and social withdrawal, and such scenarios are highly responsible for low self-esteem and self-concept among adolescents. About 15% of world's population lives with some form of disability, of whom 2 to 4% experience significant difficulties in functioning. According to the latest census, 2.2% of the Indian population had disability. I am going to my objectives. The objectives of the present study is to find out, to study the personality traits of adolescents with sensory motor disabilities, to explore the self-concepts of adolescents with sensory motor disabilities, to find the social anxiety of adolescents with sensory motor disabilities, to find out the locus of control of the adolescents with sensory motor disabilities, to find out the relationship between social demographic variables and the psychological variables, and to find out the relationship between the psychological variables. Major hypotheses will describe. Okay, the hypothesis 1, there will not be significant difference among adolescents with hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without disability in personality and its various domains. Hypothesis 2, there will not be significant difference in the personality based on birth order. There will not be significance in the personality of adolescents based on the percentage of disability. Then the hypothesis 4, the personality of adolescents with a disability is not different based on the type of accommodation. Then hypothesis 5, the personality of adolescents with a disability is not different based on the origin of disability. Hypothesis 6 is that the personality of adolescents with a disability is not different based on the participation in arts, sports, and yoga. Hypothesis 7, there will not be significant interaction between 3 groups of adolescents categorized and birth order on the personality. There will not be significant interaction between 3 groups of adolescents categorized based on disability and the type of accommodation on the variables of personality was the 8th hypothesis. Then the 9th hypothesis, there will not be significant interaction between 3 groups of adolescents categorized based on disability and the origin of disability on the variables of personality. There will not be significant interaction between 3 groups of adolescents categorized based on disability and the percentage of disability on the variables of personality was the 10th hypothesis. And hypothesis 11, there will not be significant interaction between three groups of adolescents categorized based on disability and the participation in arts, sports, and yoga on the variables personality. Then hypothesis 12, there will not be significant difference among adolescents with a hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without disability self-concept. There will not be significant difference among adolescents based on birth order in the self-concept. There will not be significant difference among adolescents based percentage of disability in the self-concept. There will not be significant difference in self-concept of adolescents with disability based on the accommodation type was the 15th hypothesis. Then there will not be significant difference in the self-concept of adolescent with a disability based on the origin of the disability. The self-concept of adolescent with a disability is not different based on their participation in arts, sports, and yoga. 18th hypothesis, there will not be significant difference among adolescents with a hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without disability in social anxiety. There will not be significant difference among adolescents based on birth order in social anxiety. There will not be significant difference among adolescents based percentage of disability in social anxiety. There will not be significant difference in the social anxiety of adolescents with a disability based on the accommodation, origin of disability, and the type of school. The social anxiety of adolescents with a disability is not different based on their participation in arts, sports, and yoga. Then 23rd hypothesis, there will not be significant difference among adolescents with a hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without disability in the locus of control. There will not be significant difference among adolescents based on the birth order in the locus of control. There will not be significant difference among adolescents based on the percentage of disability in the locus of control. There will not be significant difference in the locus of control of adolescents with a disability based on the type of accommodation, the origin of disability, and the type of school. Then hypothesis 27, the locus of control of adolescents with a disability is not different based on their participation in arts, sports, and yoga. Then 28th hypothesis, there will not be significant interaction between three groups of adolescents categorized based on disability and birth order on the self-concept, social anxiety, and locus of control. The effect of type of disability on self-concept, social anxiety, and locus of control will not be influenced by the type of accommodation. Then 30th hypothesis, there will not be significant interaction between three groups of adolescents categorized based on disability and the origin of disability on the combined dependent variables of self-concept, social anxiety, and the locus of control. Then 31st hypothesis, there will not be significant interaction between three groups of adolescents categorized based on disability and the percentage of disability on the self-concept, social anxiety, and locus of control. There will not be significant interaction between three groups of adolescents categorized based on disability and the participation in arts, sports, yoga on the self-concept, social anxiety, and locus of control. Then the relationship is the hypothesis 33. There will not be significant relationship between self-concept and personality of adolescents with a disability. There will not be significant relationship between social anxiety and personality of adolescents with a disability. There will not be significant relationship between locus of control and personality of adolescents with a disability. There will not be significant relationship between self-concept and locus of control of adolescents with a disability. There will not be significant relationship between self-concept of social anxiety of adolescents with a disability. The last hypothesis, there will not be significant relationship between social anxiety and locus of control of adolescents with a disability. Then we are going to the method the researcher used in the study. The research design, descriptive research design is used. Sampling, multi-stage sampling procedure is used in this study. 300 samples were selected for the study from special schools and from general schools. 150 adolescents with a disability and 150 adolescents without a disability were recruited to study. The tools used for the study, socio-demographic sheets, Big 5 personality inventory, which has 5 domains, self-concept, which has 6 dimensions, the locus of control scale, and social anxiety measure. The statistical techniques, SPSS was used for the analysis of data, frequency tables, descriptive statistics, such mean and standard deviation, ANOVA, post-hoc analysis, MANOVA, t-test, and Pearson correlation coefficient were used as statistical techniques.
Then we are going to the results. The first hypothesis was there will not be significant difference among adolescents with hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without disability in personality and its various domains. It's ANOVA 4 domains of personality and type of disability from the screen. You can see the table. From the table, it can be seen that there is no, there is significant difference between disabled adolescents and non-disabled adolescents in the subdomains extraversion, agreeableness, consciousness, neuroticism, and openness. A post hoc also done. From the post hoc test, it is concluded that there is significant difference in non-disability group and disability group in the various subdomains of personality. But in between, that is orthopedic disability, and there is no significant difference in orthopedic disability and hearing disabled adolescents. So the hypothesis is rejected. Then the second hypothesis was there will not be any significant difference among adolescents with hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without disability in self-concept. ANOVA was done for subdomains of self-concept and type of disability. From the table, it can be seen that there is a significant difference between non-disabled and disabled in domains of physical, social, temperamental, educational, moral, and intellectual self-concept. Again, post hoc overall self-concept, ANOVA for overall self-concept and type of disability was done. There is also a significant difference between self-concept and disabled and non-disabled groups. Again, post hoc test for overall self-concept based on types of disability is done. From the table, it is clear that there is significant difference only in case of non-disability and disabled group. But in between this disabled group, there is hearing disabled group and ortho disabled group. There is no significant difference. So our second hypothesis also rejected. Then the major third hypothesis is that there will not be any significant difference among adolescents with hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without disability in social anxiety. ANOVA was done for social anxiety and type of disability. From the table, it is clear that there is a significant difference between social in the variable social anxiety between the group non-disability and disability group. Post hoc test for social anxiety based on the type of disability is done. From the table, it is clear that there is significant difference between non-disability group to orthopedically disability group and hearing disability group, but there is no significant difference in orthopedic disability group and hearing disability group. So the hypothesis they are also rejected. Then the next major hypothesis, that is there will not be significant difference among adolescents with a hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without disability in locus of control. And for the locus of control and type of disability was done. From the table, it is clear that there is a significant difference between non-disability group, orthopedic disability group, and hearing disability group in the variable locus of control. Then post hoc test for the locus of control based on types of disability was done. From the table, it's clear that there is a significant difference between non-disability group and orthopedically and hearing disability groups in the variable locus of control. Again, there is significant difference in orthopedic disability group and hearing disability group in the locus of control. So the hypothesis rejected. The next hypothesis, there will not be any significant relationship between self-concept and personality of adolescent with a disability. From the table, correlation between self-concept and social anxiety, locus of control, and personality done with the coefficient of Pearson coefficient of correlation. From the table, it is clear that there is a positive relationship between extroversion, agreeableness, and self-concept, and there is a negative correlation, significant negative correlation between self-concept and neuroticism. In case of social anxiety, there is a negative correlation between extroversion, agreeableness, and consciousness, and openness. There is no correlation between social anxiety and neuroticism. Then the next variable, that is locus of control, there is a negative, strong negative correlation to agreeableness and locus of control, and a negative correlation to consciousness and locus of control. So there will not be any significant relationship between self-concept and personality of adolescent with a disability. The hypothesis is rejected. And the next hypothesis that there will not be any significant relationship between social anxiety and personality of adolescent with a disability is rejected. And there will not be any significant relationship between locus of control and personality of adolescent with a disability is accepted, because majority of them have no relationship between this locus of control. Okay, then the next hypothesis, there will not be any significant relationship between self-concept and self-concept and locus of control of adolescent with a adolescent with a disability. From the table, it is clear that there is a negative correlation between locus of control and self-concept. That is, when the self-concept increases, locus of control decreases, and vice versa. So the hypothesis is rejected. The next hypothesis, there will not be significant relationship between self-concept and social anxiety of adolescent with a disability. The correlation was done with the help of Pearson correlation coefficient. There is a negative correlation between self-concept and social anxiety. That means when the social anxiety increases, self-concept decreases, or in the vice versa. So the hypothesis is rejected. Next method hypothesis, there will not be any significant relationship between social anxiety and locus of control of adolescent with a disability. Pearson's coefficient of correlation is used to study the correlation between social anxiety and locus of control. But from the table, it is clear that there is no relationship between social anxiety and locus of control. So the hypothesis is accepted. Then we are going to the major findings of this study. It's evident that agreeableness was the most evident personality trait among adolescents without disability, followed by conscientiousness. Neuroticism is found to be the least evident personality trait among non-disabled adolescents. At the same time, openness is the most evident personality trait among adolescents with a disability, followed by agreeableness. The education self-concept was the prominent self-concept among the participants, followed by the moral self-concept. Among the adolescents with a disability, education self-concept is the most prominent domain, followed by temperamental self-concept. In the two groups, the most prominent self-concept is the education self-concept. It was found that social anxiety and locus of control of adolescents with a disability is higher than those without a disability. The various domains of personality are found significantly different among adolescents with a hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without a disability. It was found that only the domain openness in the personality is found to be different on the basis of birth order. In the personality, the difference in the personality was evident except the domain openness based on the percentage of disability. There were no changes in the personality of adolescent with a disability on the basis of the type of accommodation. The adolescents with a disability are not differed in the personality based on the ground of origin of disability, whether they had it by birth or after birth. The personality of the adolescent with a disability is not differed except consciousness based on their participation in arts. Participation in sports and yoga is not influential in the personality of adolescents with a disability. It was found that the difference in the personality based on the type of disability are not affected by birth order. The difference in the personality based on the type of disability are not influenced by the type of accommodation. The difference in the personality factors based on the type of disability is not affected by the origin of disability and the percentage of disability. The participation in arts, sports, practice of yoga is found to be not effective in the difference in the personality based on the type of disability. The self-concepts of the participants are significantly differs based on the type of status of disability, that is hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without disability. It was found that the self-concept is not influenced by the birth order. The self-concept of adolescent with a disability doesn't differ based on the percentage of disability and type of accommodation. The self-concept was not different among the adolescents who had a disability by birth or after birth. The self-concept of adolescent was not differed based on their participation in arts, sports, and practice of yoga. The social anxiety is found to be different among adolescents with hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without a disability. It was found that social anxiety is not differed based on the birth order. The percentage of disability is significantly found to be influencing different the social anxiety. The social anxiety of adolescents with a disability is not different among those staying at home or hostel. The social anxiety was found to be not different based on the origin of disability and the type of school. The participation in arts, sports, and yoga are found to be not influencing the social anxiety. The locus of control is found to be different among adolescents with hearing disability, orthopedic disability, and without a disability. It was evident that locus of control is not different among the adolescents based on birth order. The locus of control is found to be different among adolescents with a different percentage of disability. It was found that the locus of control of adolescents with a disability is different based on accommodation and the origin of disability. The locus of control of adolescents with a disability was found to be not different based on the type of school they enrolled. The participation in arts, sports, and yoga don't influence the locus of control of adolescents with a disability. It was found that self-concept, social anxiety, and locus of control of the adolescents based on the status of disability is not affected by birth order. The effect of type of disability on self-concept, social anxiety, and locus of control is found to be not influenced by the type of accommodation. The difference in self-concept, social anxiety, and locus of control based on the type of disability is not affected by the origin of the disability. It was evident that differences in the self-concept, social anxiety, and locus of control are based on the type of disability is not influenced by the percentage of disability. It was found that there was no significant interaction between three groups of adolescents and the participation in arts or sports or yoga on the self-concept, social anxiety, and locus of control. No interaction was found between the adolescents categorized based on disability and the participation in arts, sports, or yoga on the dependent variables, self-concept, social anxiety, and locus of control. It was found that self-concept is positively correlated to extraversion and agreeableness, and self-concept is negatively correlated to neuroticism. No correlation was found between self-concept and conscientiousness. It was found that negative correlation exists between social anxiety and extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, and openness. No correlation was found between social anxiety and neuroticism of adolescents living with a disability. It was found that locus of control is negatively correlated to agreeableness and conscientiousness of adolescents living with a disability. No statistical relationship was found between locus of control and extraversion, neuroticism, and openness. It was found that there was a strong negative correlation between self-concept and locus of control of adolescents living with a disability. It was found that no correlation exists between social anxiety and locus of control of adolescents with adolescents living with anxiety. Okay, these are my major findings. And we are going to the limitation of the present study. Major limitations are the data were selected only from Central Kerala. Disabilities like visual disability or multiple disabilities were not included in my studies. Only school-going adolescents were participating in the study. There are many other psychological variables, but other important psychological variables like mental health, attitude, etc. were not analyzed. And then we are going to the implication of the present study. The adolescents living with a disability must be provided with a regular psychosocial care. The facilities for such care must be provided in the educational institution. The psychoeducational services must be provided to parents and guardians of adolescents and children living with a disability. There is a big role of psychologists in that. Regular training program must be organized for them by the schools and appropriate departments for equipping their skills in addressing the health and social challenges of their wards. The professionals working with adolescents must be trained to address the issues and challenges of disability. Clinical psychologists, rehabilitation professionals, social workers, special educators, speech therapists, and must undergo regular training programs that will enhance their skill to address the issues of disabled population. The career counseling services must be provided to the adolescent to choose appropriate careers that suit their aptitude and interest. The psychologists, psychology professionals, and psychology educators must take initiative for the implementation of an inclusive education system. The professionals working with adolescents must be trained to address the issues and challenges of disability. The major findings of my research is presented here. That's all about my presentation. Respected sir, please.
Professor Raju, your mic is off.
Okay, thank you, Animal, for your nice presentation. I think the participants should have get general awareness about what she had presented and her findings, implications, and limitations. All those things nicely presented by her. Now, I would like to ask certain questions posed by other adjudicators before the session is open to open discussion. I would like to make clarifications on the questions posed by other adjudicators. And one of the adjudicators, even though he had appreciated the candidate and the supervising teacher for the nice work she had undergone, and he had listed some questions. The first question requires clarity on the statement of the problem as it doesn't specify on the variable studied. I think the clarity on the statement of the problem. It is clear from the title itself, and but she doesn't mention about the number of categories included under the disability section. That we can give in the sample section in the methodology part. So I think it doesn't need any clarification. Only when you go through the methods part and the selection of sample and the inclusion exclusion criteria, you can easily understand what is the problem actually means. Then it requires clarity on objective 1 and 7. What does the word explore the socio-demographic characteristics mean? So, Unnimal, please answer the question posed by the external examiner, adjudicator. Clarity on objective 1 and 7.
So the major objective from in my research, it's to explore the importance of socio-demographic variables. That means the importance of socio-demographic variables, that is any interaction between or influence of socio-demographic variables in the psychological variables like personality, self-concepts of social anxiety or locus of control of adolescent with sensory motor disabilities.
Okay, I think the question posed by the external adjudicator, the other person, because of that term explore. Explore the socio-demographic characteristics. Normally, when we conduct a study, we use the terms which suit the nature of the study. Explore means we have to find out something by exploring the data and analyzing the data, then getting something from the analysis. That is why we usually use the analytical because of that term explore to that question. Another question phase 1 and phase 2, page number 8. Phase research design.
Respected Chair, the descriptive research design is used in this study and survey method in descriptive research design survey method is used here.
Yes, sir. Okay. At you reduce example. You have mentioned select the sample from the schools. I think it is from institutions. Whether the institutions are specifically meant for such people or general population. That is why she asked, or the examiner asked such a question. Clarity on sampling procedure.
Sir, respected Chair, we are in this study, the researcher used the multi-stage sampling procedure. In the first stage, researcher collected the list of schools, special schools and general schools from the Education Department and Social Justice Department. After that, three schools randomly selected 3 special schools and 3 general schools from each of the district. Then we used this, a sampling frame is formed. About 25 samples were selected randomly from each school, sir.
Okay. Okay, another question requires clarity on Big 5. To which age group it is used? Whether there is any age limit for using that Big 5 personality questionnaire, and if so, in which age group you have used?
Sir, this Big 4 personality is used for generally used for adolescents, sir.
Okay. Then there is clarity on reliability of self-concept scale. Did you mention the reliability and the validity of all the measuring devices or the tools or instruments you have used? And if it is so, sometimes you may be omitted this reliability of self-concept scale. If you know, you can make it clear.
Okay, sir. The psychological tools we use, the researcher used in the studies also all have sufficient reliability and validity. These tools were many times used in the different research studies in psychology, sir.
Okay. Anyway, you have to mention when you describe the tools or the instruments used to collect data, you have to mention the procedure for administration, the number of items, then the validity, reliability, etc. in the text. That is why sometimes it may be omitted or mixed with validity, or there may not be any separate title. That is why she may, or the examiner might ask you that question. Then another one requires clarity on health locus of control scale. How did you score that scale? The scoring part, the examiner had a doubt. How did you score that scale? Health locus of control scale.
Sir, locus of control scale, the higher score of locus of control, means the external locus of control, and low scores in locus of control means internal locus of control, sir. In scoring, there is positive items and negative items also, sir. Higher in the locus, higher in the score,
Okay.
external locus of control, sir.
High score which indicates external locus of control.
And low scores indicates
That is some high score indicates external.
yes, sir.
Sometimes it may not be. Yeah. Okay. And when we come to the tables, table number 17 to 25 needs some sort of clarity. Did you notice any problem in those tables? And the examiner requires a clarity on that table from 17 to 25.
So table 17 describes social anxiety and locus of control, the statistics, mean, standard deviation, number of participants, and the minimum score and maximum scores.
That means descriptive statistics, you have mentioned the descriptive statistics of social anxiety and the locus of control. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then another one.
Again, the table 18, ANOVA for domains of personality and type of disability is described in the table 18, sir.
Then, is there any ambiguity in the presentation of table values, T value or ANOVA F ratio, etc.?
And the
If it is
table
so, you write
35 also
25.
table number 25. Table number 25, P-test for personality and origin of disability is described in the table 25, sir.
In which are the two groups you have combined?
Here, the groups of by disability by birth and disability after birth. Two groups were.
By birth group and after birth group. Okay. Did you get a significant difference between these two groups?
No, sir, there is no significant difference, sir.
Difference, okay. Then another question raised by one of the adjudicators is request clarity on the operational definition of psychological profile. Psychological profile. The term psychological profile you have mentioned, and you have operationally defined that. Did you define it operationally, or you didn't define it operationally?
Respected
Psychological.
the psychological profile, the term is used, the practice of trying to trying to discover the psychological variables. The term psychological profile means.
Okay, that was the definition you had given in your thesis.
No,
To
sir,
describe the person based on the Okay. Those are the questions posed by one of the adjudicators. And next, another adjudicator had also raised certain questions. Those questions almost cover the questions raised by the teacher. Raised that why didn't the researcher include abstract of the study? Because most of the cases in the front page after the contents, then list of cases, observations, list of figures, etc. They make a of this abstract study. You didn't include that abstract in the thesis. Why didn't you include abstract? Is there any special format for making this report, or you have forgotten it?
So APA format is used to write the report, but I forgot to omit.
Okay. Anyway, that abstract, when we give the abstract in front of the thesis or any other work, it will give what we had done inside the text. And without any additional effort, we can understand at a glance what is there inside. So it is a must, and it also can be used for any other purposes for this abstract. Okay, these are some of the doubts and questions posed by the examiners. And now the session is open for discussion to the participants. The participants please ask certain doubts and make it clear. And this is actually not a questionnaire session, but if you have any doubt on the presentation, on the any part of the thesis, you can make it clear. And if you want, you can supplement, because after this, the subject or the participant, the research scholar, if she wants to publish the thesis, she can incorporate all these additions you have given her. So you supplement with her, you make your doubts clear, and at least appreciate her for this work. Okay, it is open to discussion to the participants.
Hello, Unimur.
Hello. Yeah.
This is Lima.
Lima.
First of all, congratulations. We have made a wonderful presentation and study.
Thank you, Lima.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, it's audible, Lima. Please continue.
Okay. I just have a small doubt that generally it is found that, regarding your major finding, I'm talking about your major finding of yoga, arts, sports practice. It was found that it's not effective in something like locus of control, personality, etc., right?
Yes.
So generally it is found that the state government, NGOs or others, they used to conduct sports, meet, arts festival, etc., and those are conducted with the aim to provide more opportunities or to promote inclusivity, etc., and a means to empower such disabled people to come forward and have a space of their own. But the finding says it's not actually effective, right? So, can you just give a brief explanation about why it is so?
Yes, Lima. Generally, we all know that this practice of yoga or sports and arts activities are it's improve personality or it's improve it reduces our social anxiety, etc. But
Yes,
in case of this special categories, this adolescent with any type of disabilities, in majority of schools or in majority of situation, they are not continually practicing this. Maybe any surrounding problem, they are not continually do this yoga or their sports activities. Maybe because of their surroundings or some any other factors. I think it's so.
Okay, thank you, Nimal.
Nilima. Thank you.
Hello, Nimar. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ramya.
Unnimol, first of all, I congratulate you for your presentation. I have a doubt. You have any suggestion for future research based on this study?
Yes, of course. Here I used the questionnaire for my research, but I think it is too, so I couldn't participate visually impaired adolescents for my research. If we use that technique of interview, if we use the interview method, it is we can include the visually impaired students for our research. And other type of research is, must be done, and then any psychological variables. A few psychological variables was studied in my research. But if you have any chance, more psychological variables must be studied. And experimental research method is very useful for studies in disability area. Their coping strategies, their social adjustment, their mental health also want to study. And multiple disabled adolescents. We majority of the researchers select any specific type of disability, and the majority of in my studies I found that. But when you select a multiple disabled adolescents or adults, it will be very useful for them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ramya.
Hi, ma'am. It was nice presentation. Ma'am, the ഫൈൻഡിങ്സിൽ പറഞ്ഞത് ലോക്കസ് ഓഫ് കൺട്രോള് ഡിസേബിൾഡ് ആയ കുട്ടികളിൽ വ്യത്യാസപ്പെട്ട് കാണുന്നു അല്ലാത്തവരിലും എന്നല്ലേ?
Yes.
അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് മാമിന്റെ ഒരു എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് അറിയാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ചോദിക്കുകയാണ്. അതായത് ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ പറയും എക്സ്റ്റേണൽ ലോക്കസ് ഓഫ് കൺട്രോളിന്റെ കാര്യത്തിൽ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ പറയും അത് ഓന്റെ ഗതികേടാണ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയുള്ള രീതിയിൽ പറയും. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇന്റേണലി പറയുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് നമ്മളുടെ വീട്ടുകാരുടെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ബ്ലെയിമിങ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മുജ്ജന്മ പാപം അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയുള്ള രീതിയിൽ ചില കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറയും. അപ്പൊ ഈ കുട്ടികളുടെ കാര്യത്തിൽ അവരെങ്ങനെയാണ് എക്സ്റ്റേണലും ഇന്റേണലും എക്സ്പ്രസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്നുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും ശ്രദ്ധയിൽപ്പെട്ടിരുന്നോ റിസർച്ചിന്റെ ഇടയിൽ? അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഷെയർ ചെയ്താൽ നന്നായി.
In this research, we compared locus of control of adolescents with disabled adolescents and non-disabled adolescents. Here, found that there is a significant difference between disabled and non-disabled in locus of control. Here, the disabled has high level of locus of control than non-disabled. I think they or their family always talk about themselves as it's fate, as you said, it's fate or it's in India nowadays also is treated as a sin. മുജ്ജന്മ പാപമോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആൻസിസ്റ്റേഴ്സിന്റെ ഇനി പാപം കൊണ്ടാണ് ഇപ്പോഴും എന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്ന കുറെ ഗ്രൂപ്പ്സ് nowadays also. Many parents and adolescents just shared their experience with me, this type of statements.
Okay, so there's a scope for intervention in that area.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to congratulate you.
Thank you.
My question is, what is the inclusion criteria for the sample? How did you select the samples?
Okay, thank you, Rima. In this study, the researchers selected only disabled adolescents from the special school and non-disabled adolescents from general schools. Orthopedically disabled adolescents are also selected from the general schools because there is no special school for orthopedically adolescents. Sorry, orthopedically disabled adolescents. The individuals recruited for our samples in the study are the age of 12 to 8, at the age of 12 to 18. Those who are enrolled in schools were participated in this study. And all participants are in the position to respond to the questionnaires. And those
Thank you, Undi.
adolescents, those who have more than 10% of disability were included in this study.
Okay, thank you. You took the samples from both normal schools and special schools.
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you, Undi.
I think if there is no questions, we can conclude the session. That is why I asked. Anybody else wants to make clarifications? Please ask. I think there is no more questions or doubts regarding the thesis. So we are coming to the end of this session. There are certain questions posed by the external adjudicators as well as the participants, and I think we had answered to all those questions satisfactorily and defended very efficiently. And on the basis of our satisfactory responses and defense, I recommend the University of Sri Shankaracharya University of Sanskrit Karadi for the award of PhD degree to Ms. Unnimol K.K., Researcher Scholar, Department of Psychology, Mrs. University of Karadi. Thank you. Thank you. Now I invite the HOD, not HOD, that term usually comes to my mouth because she had been there for a long period as HOD. My dear student and the former HOD of Shankara University, Dr. H. Shailaja, to extend her thanks to the participants as well as the external as well as internal examination.
I'm extremely happy to be one bestowed with the opportunity to extend a lot of thanks for this presentation. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to HOD in charge, Dr. Ramesh. So indebted to my professor, Raju sir. In spite of his busy schedule, he always found time to be with us. with our all the academic endeavors in the Department of Psychology, Sri Shankaracharya University of Sanskrit, and now also keep on time. Thank you, sir, for your kind support and all the suggestions put forward by the cases. And we extend my heartfelt gratitude to him with this occasion. He spent his valuable time for us. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Our technical staff also deserve sincere thanks. Their team. Thank you very much for your esteemed support. Next is the participants, scholars from the departments who are interested in our subject. And thank you all for your support. Now I would like to invite the candidates to finish their experience and
Thanks.
again I thank you all.
Yes, thank you, Miss. I think it is easy to convey my emotions in our mother tongue. First of all, എന്നെ ഇതിന് പ്രാപ്തമാക്കിയ ഗുരുവിനോടുള്ള നമസ്കാരം, ഗുരുവിനോടുള്ള നന്ദി ആദ്യമേ പറയുന്നു. താങ്ക്സ് ടു രാജു സർ, ചെയർമാൻ, ഫ്രം PG ലെവൽ ഓൺവേർഡ്സ് എന്നെ മോട്ടിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന സാറിന് ഒരുപാട് നന്ദി. താങ്ക് യു സർ. സാർ എൻ്റെ ഓരോ ഘട്ടത്തിലും മോട്ടിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കൂടെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. സാറിന് ഒരുപാട് നന്ദി പറയുന്നു. അതോടൊപ്പം ഇന്ന് എൻ്റെ കൂടെ അവിടെ ഉണ്ടായത് MSW. ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഓൾ നമ്മൾ എപ്പോഴും സൈക്കോളജി ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ഹെഡിനോട് ചേർന്നിരിക്കാനാണ് നമ്മൾ ആഗ്രഹിക്കാറ്, താല്പര്യപ്പെടാറ്. ബട്ട് മൈ ബാഡ് ലക്ക് ആണെങ്കിൽ പോലും ഐ തിങ്ക് വലിയൊരു സപ്പോർട്ടായിരുന്നു ഇന്ന് മാമിന്റെ ഭാഗത്ത് നിന്ന് എനിക്ക് ഉണ്ടായത്. മാം ഒരു പ്ലസന്റ് സിറ്റുവേഷൻ എനിക്ക് വന്നപ്പോൾ തന്നെ ഇവിടെ ഒരുക്കി തന്നിരുന്നു. അപ്പോ താങ്ക് യു മാം, താങ്ക് യു വെരി മച്ച്. ആൻഡ് മൈ ഇതോടെ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത എല്ലാ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പൻസിനും ഞാൻ നന്ദി പറയുന്നു. അതോടൊപ്പം എൻ്റെ ഗൈഡ്, ഐ ഹാവ് നോ വേർഡ്സ് ടു എക്സ്പ്രസ് മൈ താങ്ക്സ് ടു ഡോക്ടർ ശൈലജ. മിസ്സാണോ ടീച്ചറാണോ അമ്മയാണോ എന്നൊന്നും എനിക്ക് ഡിഫറൻഷിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാത്തൊരു വ്യക്തിയാണ് മിസ്. എൻ്റെ ഓരോ അപ്പ് ആൻഡ് ഡൗൺസിലും എന്നെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്ത് എൻ്റെ കൂടെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ആളാണ്. ഐ ഹാവ് നോ വേർഡ്സ്. എന്റെ അമ്മയുടെ അതേ സ്ഥാനത്ത് നിന്ന് അമ്മയായി തന്നെയാണ് മിസ് എന്റെ ഓരോ റിസർച്ച് വർക്കിലും മിസ് എന്നെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. എന്താ പറയാ, എന്റെ എല്ലാ തല്ലുകൊള്ളിത്തരങ്ങളും അറിയാവുന്ന മിസ്, എന്റെ എല്ലാ ബിഹേവിയറും അറിയാവുന്ന മിസ്. എപ്പോഴും ആസ് എ കൊളീഗ് ആയിരുന്ന സമയത്തും ആസ് എ സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ആയിരുന്ന സമയത്തും മിസ് എങ്ങനെയാണോ അമൃതോട് ബിഹേവ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് അതേ രീതി തന്നെയാണ് എനിക്ക് പലപ്പോഴും ഫീൽ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് എന്നോട് ബിഹേവ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ചീത്ത പറയാൻ സമയത്ത് നല്ലതായിട്ട് കണ്ണുപൊട്ടി ചീത്ത പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതേപോലെ കുറച്ച് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ വിളിച്ച് ആശ്വസിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുമുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ ജീവിതത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ പ്രോബ്ലംസ് ഫേസ് ചെയ്ത സമയത്തൊക്കെ എനിക്ക് ഒരുപാട് പ്രോബ്ലംസ് ഈ റിസർച്ച് മേഖലയിലുള്ള ഞാൻ നിന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോഴൊക്കെ മിസ് എന്റെ കൂടെ നിന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മിസ്സിന്റെ ഒരു സപ്പോർട്ട് ഇല്ലായിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ ഒരു നഷ്ടബോധത്തോടെ കൂടെ തന്നെ ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ നിൽക്കേണ്ടി വരുമായിരുന്നു. എൻ്റെ പേഴ്സണൽ ലൈഫിലൊരു ഇൻസിഡന്റിൽ എനിക്ക് അത്രയും ഒരു നഷ്ടബോധം ഇല്ലാതെ വന്നത് മിസ്സിന്റെ ഒരു കൃത്യമായ ഒരു ഇടപെടൽ കൊണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അതിൽ സ്പെഷ്യൽ താങ്ക്സ് ടു യു മിസ്, നോ വേർഡ്സ്. അതോടൊപ്പം ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ഫാക്കൽറ്റി സന്ധ്യ മിസ്, ഷെറിൻ സർ, ഹരീഷ് സർ, and my all the teachers, Bini Miss from the Department of Psychology, and our scholars, research scholars, my dear friend Ramya Chitran, Vidya Rekha, Emerson, Amir Hussain and my beloved friend Neelima. എല്ലാവർക്കും ഇതോടൊപ്പം നന്ദി പറയുന്നു. ഒരു സ്റ്റാറ്റിസ്റ്റിക്കൽ അനാലിസിസ് പാർട്ടിൽ ഒരുപാട് ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്ത അബ്ദുൾ അസീസിനോടുള്ള നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ എന്നെ ഈ ഒരു PhD ലെവലിലേക്ക് എത്തിക്കാൻ ഫ്രം മൈ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ സ്റ്റാർട്ടിങ് മുതൽ എന്നെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്ത ഒരുപാട് ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഫ്രം മൈ നഴ്സറി സെക്ഷൻ, ഫ്രം മൈ ഹരിശ്രീ കുറിച്ച അധ്യാപകർ ഉൾപ്പെടെ എന്നെ ഈ MPhilന് പഠിപ്പിച്ച അധ്യാപകരോട് വരെയുള്ള എല്ലാ അധ്യാപകരെയും വളരെ താങ്ക്ഫുള്ളി ഈ സമയത്ത് ഞാൻ ഓർക്കുന്നു. എസ്പെഷ്യലി ഫോമർ HOD ഡോക്ടർ MI ജോസഫ് സർ, നൈസ് മിസ്, മഞ്ജു മിസ്, മേരിക്കുട്ടി മിസ്, സുരേഷ് സാർ, University of faculties, not only from the psychology faculty, from University ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ വൈസ് ചാൻസലർ ധർമ്മരാജ ഡാഡ്സ് സാറിന്റെ ക്ലാസ്സിലിരിക്കാനുള്ള വലിയൊരു ഭാഗ്യം എനിക്ക് ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതോടൊപ്പം ചിദംബരം സാറിന്റെ ക്ലാസ്സിലിരിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു ഭാഗ്യം, രവീന്ദ്ര സാറിന്റെ ക്ലാസ്സിലിരിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു ഭാഗ്യം, അതേപോലെ തന്നെ വേദാന്ത ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലെ ചന്ദ്രിക ടീച്ചർ, പ്രമീള ടീച്ചർ, വസന്തകുമാരി ടീച്ചർ, ഷീബ ടീച്ചർ, ന്യായ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലെ കുമാരി ടീച്ചർ, മണിയണ്ട സാറ്, സാഹിത്യ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലേക്ക് വിജയകുമാരി ടീച്ചർ, എന്താ പറയാ, ഇവരെയൊക്കെ ഒന്നും എനിക്ക് എല്ലാവരുടെയും പേര് ഈ സമയത്ത് ഓർക്കാൻ സാധിക്കില്ല. യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിലെ മിക്കവാറും സാൻസ്ക്രിറ്റ് ഫാക്കൽറ്റീസിന്റെ ഒക്കെ കൂടെ ഇരിക്കാനും അവരുടെ കൂടെ സുരേഷ് സാർ ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള ആളുകളുടെ കൂടെ ഇരിക്കാനൊക്കെ അവരുടെ കൂടെ ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാനും അവരുടെ ഒരു സ്റ്റുഡൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഇരിക്കാനുള്ള ഭാഗ്യമൊക്കെ എനിക്ക് ലഭിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അവരോടൊക്കെ ഉള്ള നന്ദി ഞാൻ രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. അതോടൊപ്പം യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി സ്റ്റാഫ്, എസ്പെഷ്യലി പ്രസാദേട്ടൻ, ബെൻഡിലിയിൽ പ്രസാദേട്ടൻ, ചേച്ചി, പരമശിവൻ ചേട്ടൻ, ഇവരോടൊക്കെ എത്ര നന്ദി പറഞ്ഞാലും മതിയാവില്ല. എത്രമാത്രം എന്നെ മോട്ടിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്തവരാണ് ഇവർ ഓരോരുത്തരും. അതുപോലെ ഇന്ന് ടെക്നിക്കൽ സ്റ്റാഫായ ചിന്തു ആണെങ്കിലും രാഹുലും ആണെങ്കിലും ഇവിടെ വരുമ്പോഴേക്കും ഇത് ഒക്കെ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. അതോടൊപ്പം എന്നെ ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് ഇതിൽ ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യുകയും ചെയ്തു. ഒരു ഡെമോ ഒക്കെ ആദ്യമേ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ തന്നെ വേഗം ഡെമോ ഒക്കെ റെഡിയാക്കി ഏറ്റവും നന്നായിട്ടൊന്ന് പ്രസന്റേഷന് ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് ഈ ടെക്നിക്കൽ സ്റ്റാഫ്സ് ആണ്. അവരോടുള്ള നന്ദി പറയുന്നു. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ എൻ്റെ കൊളീഗ്സ്, എന്നെ ഇപ്പോ ഈ ഒരു 1 month എൻ്റെ ഒരു ടെൻഷനും സ്ട്രെസ്സും ഒക്കെ നേരിട്ട് അറിഞ്ഞത് കുറച്ച് വിഭാഗമാണ് എൻ്റെ കൊളീഗ്സ്. മൈ കൗൺസിലർ അനുപ, റിമ, സോഷ്യൽ വർക്കേഴ്സ്, സർവീസ് പ്രൊവൈഡേഴ്സ്, അതിൻ്റെ സ്റ്റാഫുകൾ, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ എന്നെ ഇതിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് എന്നെ ഇന്നലെ തന്നെ വിളിച്ച് അപ്രീഷിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത എൻ്റെ മിഷൻ കോർഡിനേറ്റർ, ADMC, അങ്ങനെ ഒരുപാട് പേര്, എൻ്റെ മിഷനുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് മിഷൻ സ്റ്റാഫ് ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള ആളുകൾ എന്നെ ഓരോരുത്തരും, സ്റ്റേറ്റ് മിഷനിലെ സാർ ഉൾപ്പെടെ എന്നെ എല്ലാവരും ആദ്യമേ വിളിച്ച് ബെസ്റ്റ് വിഷസ് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ്, രാവിലെ തന്നെ എന്നെ വിളിച്ച് ബെസ്റ്റ് വിഷസ് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിലേക്ക് വിട്ടതൊക്കെ. അവർക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഉള്ള നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ എൻ്റെ നാട്ടിലെ എൻ്റെ ബെസ്റ്റ് ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്, എസ്പെഷ്യലി ഗംഗ, ഇവരൊക്കെ എൻ്റെ ഈ ഒരു തീസിന്റെ എഡിറ്റിങ്ങിലൊക്കെ എന്നെ ഒരുപാട് ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്ത കുറെ ആളുകളാണ്. ഗംഗയും കണ്ണൻ, മൈ ബെസ്റ്റ് ഫ്രണ്ട് ഷാജി റാഫേൽ, മൈ മനോജ് വെങ്ങോല തുടങ്ങിയവരൊക്കെ എന്നെ ഒരുപാട് ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ നോട്ട് ഓൺലി എൻ്റെ നാട്ടുകാർ, ഒരു സ്റ്റുഡൻ്റ് എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ എനിക്ക് കിട്ടേണ്ട എല്ലാ പ്രിവിലേജും തന്നാണ് നാട്ടുകാർ ഈ ഒരു ഇത്രയും വർഷം എൻ്റെ കൂടെ നിന്നത്. ഒന്നും അറിയാനിട്ടാണെങ്കിൽ പോലും ഇന്നലെ എൻ്റെ വീടിൻ്റെ അടുത്തുള്ള ഒരു അപ്പൂപ്പൻ, എന്തായി മോളുടെ പഠനം തീരാറായോ എന്ന്, കാര്യം അവർ കല്യാണം കഴിഞ്ഞ് ചെന്ന് കാണുമ്പോൾ മുതൽ കാണുന്നതാണ് പഠിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് കോളേജിൽ പോകുന്നവരെന്നെ ഏകദേശം വർഷങ്ങൾ കുറേയായി. അപ്പോൾ അത് ചോദിച്ചപ്പോഴൊക്കെ നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടുകാർ നമ്മളെ കാണിക്കുന്ന സപ്പോർട്ടിന് ഒരുപാട് നന്ദി പറയുന്നു. ഇതിനോടൊക്കെ ഒപ്പം എനിക്ക് ഒരുപാട് വലിയൊരു താങ്ക്സ് ആണോ പറയേണ്ടത്, എന്താണ് എനിക്ക് എക്സ്പ്രസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടതെന്ന് അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ. എൻ്റെ പേരൻസ്, എനിക്കറിയില്ല, ഒരു അപ്പർ പ്രൈമറി എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ പോലും കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാത്ത ഒരാളാണ് എൻ്റെ ഫാദർ. അപ്പോൾ അച്ഛനാണ്, അച്ഛൻ്റെ മോളിൽ നിന്ന് PhD വരെ എത്തി നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ ഏറ്റവും സന്തോഷിക്കുന്ന ഒരാള് എൻ്റെ അച്ഛനായിരിക്കും. അതേപോലെ തന്നെ എൻ്റെ അമ്മയും അവരോടുള്ള, അതേപോലെ എന്നെ ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്ന എൻ്റെ സഹോദരി, അതേപോലെ തന്നെ സഹോദരൻ, അവരോടുള്ള നന്ദിയൊക്കെ ഈ സമയത്ത് എക്സ്പ്രസ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. പിന്നെ എനിക്ക് ഒരുപാട് നന്ദി പറയാനുള്ളത് ഇതിനുള്ളൊരു ചാൻസ് എനിക്ക് തന്നത്. ഞാൻ 6 months മോളെ പ്രഗ്നന്റ് ആവുന്ന സമയത്താണ് എൻ്റെ PhD ചെയ്യണം എന്നൊരു ആഗ്രഹം എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ വരുന്നേ. ആ മനസ്സിൽ വരുമ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് PhD അഡ്മിഷൻ കിട്ടുമെന്ന് അറിയില്ല. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ഇതിനു വേണ്ടി ഫസ്റ്റ് മോട്ടിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്യിപ്പിച്ചത്, ഫസ്റ്റ് ഇല്ല പക്ഷെ ആ സമയത്ത് എന്നെ ശരിക്കും മഞ്ജു മിസ് ആയിരുന്നു, മഞ്ജുലക്ഷ്മി മാം. മഞ്ജുലക്ഷ്മി മിസ് ഇപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ഇല്ല. മിസ് സ്കൂളിലെ ഫാക്കൽറ്റിയാണ്. മിസ്സാണ് ഉണ്ണി പോയി ചെയ്യേ പഠിക്കാൻ, എൻട്രൻസിൽ പോയി ഉണ്ണിക്ക് കിട്ടും ഉറപ്പാണ്, ഉണ്ണി പഠിച്ചോ എന്ന് തന്നെ ആ സമയത്ത് എനിക്കൊരു ഭയങ്കര മോട്ടിവേഷൻ ആയിരുന്നു അത്. 6 months പ്രഗ്നൻസി സമയത്ത് ഞാൻ പഠിക്കണമെന്ന ആഗ്രഹം ഇങ്ങനെ വീട്ടിൽ പറഞ്ഞപ്പോ എൻ്റെ മദറിലോ എന്നോട് പറഞ്ഞത്, നീ കുഞ്ഞിനെ അങ്ങ് തന്നിട്ട് എന്തു വേണമെങ്കിലും പഠിക്കാൻ പൊക്കോ എന്നാണ് മദറിലോ പറഞ്ഞത്. അമ്മയുടെ ഒരു വാക്കാണ് ഒരു കോഴ്സിന് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി എന്നെ പ്രേരിപ്പിച്ചത്. ഷീ ഈസ് നോട്ട് വിത്ത് us. അമ്മ ഒരുപാട് നന്ദി അമ്മ. ഒറ്റ വാക്കിന് ഒരുപാട് നന്ദി അമ്മ. ഒറ്റ വാക്ക് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് കുറച്ച് നാള് കൂടി ഞങ്ങളുടെ കൂടെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നുള്ളൂ. പക്ഷെ പിന്നീട് എൻ്റെ ഓരോ ഘട്ടത്തെയും ഭയങ്കര ഒരു സന്തോഷത്തോടെയും അഭിമാനത്തോടെയും കൊണ്ടു നടന്നത് എൻ്റെ ഫാദർ-ഇൻ-ലോയാണ്. എൻ്റെ ഓരോ ഘട്ടത്തിന് എന്നെ പറഞ്ഞു വിടുകയും എൻ്റെ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെയൊക്കെ ഒരു കുറവും വരാതെ നോക്കിയത് എൻ്റെ ഫാദർ-ഇൻ-ലോയാണ്. അമ്മ നോക്കുന്നേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ സ്നേഹം ഒക്കെ കൊടുത്ത് നോക്കിയ ഫാദർ-ഇൻ-ലോ. അച്ഛനോട് ഒരുപാട് നന്ദി പറയുന്നു. നന്ദി പറയണോ വേണ്ടോന്ന് അറിയൂടാ. ഹീസ് മൈ ബെസ്റ്റ് പാർട്ട്ണർ. No, it's not me for him. And my kids suffer a lot എന്ന് തന്നെ പറയാം. അമ്മയുടെ ഈ ആഗ്രഹങ്ങളുടെ പുറകെ പലപ്പോഴും മോള് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്, ഇനിയെങ്കിലും അമ്മ എനിക്ക് നാണാവും, അമ്മ സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ആണെന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എനിക്ക് നാണാണ്. എൻ്റെ സ്കൂളിൽ ചെന്നിട്ട് അമ്മ എന്താ ചെയ്യണേന്ന് ചോദിക്കും, അമ്മ സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ആണെന്ന് പറയാൻ എനിക്ക് നാണാണെന്നൊക്കെ എൻ്റെ മോൾ എന്നോട് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അവര് ശരിക്കും സഫർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. എസ്പെഷ്യലി ഈ ലാസ്റ്റ് 1 week എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് സഫേർഡ് അല്ലോ. എൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫ്രസ്ട്രേഷനും എൻ്റെ ടെൻഷനും ഒക്കെ ഞാൻ അവരുടെ മുമ്പിലാണ് പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്തത്. അപ്പോ താങ്ക്സ് ടു മൈ ലിറ്റിൽ ഗേൾസ് അവനിബാല ആൻഡ് ആകാശബാല, മൈ ലിറ്റിൽസ് ആൻഡ് മൈ കല്ലൂസ്. താങ്ക് യു മൈ ഡിയേഴ്സ്. ലാസ്റ്റ് again താങ്ക് യു മിസ്. ശൈലജ മിസ് ഇല്ലാതിരുന്ന എനിക്ക് ഒരിക്കലും എനിക്ക് സാധനം കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനോ എൻ്റെ ലൈഫിൽ ഒരു PhD സബ്മിഷനോ എനിക്ക് പോസിബിൾ ആയിരിക്കില്ല. ഐ എം ഷുവർ. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. With lots of love, ma'am. Thank you. And one Biju Vincent, lastly, she came to my side. Thank you, Biju sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, the session is completed. We can wind up the session. And thank you once again for all those who have participated in this session. Okay. So now the open defense, we decided to wind up the open defense with all these formalities, and the further formalities we will discuss and decide and send to the university itself. Okay, thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Sorry. പേരുണ്ടായിരുന്നു
ഒരു 38 മുകളിൽ ആൾക്കാർ ഒരു സമയത്ത് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
33 പേരെ ഞാൻ കണ്ടു. 33 ആയിരുന്നു. മോർ ദാൻ 33 അല്ല.
39 ഉണ്ട് സർ. ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങൾ 39.
Okay. 39. ഒരു നേരം കുട്ടികൾ പറഞ്ഞു
ലീവ് ചെയ്യാമോ